So some videos ago, I did a rant concerning whether or not Order in Chaos 2 is pay to win, which if you didn't watch that yet, please do. I'll provide a link somewhere, but an overwhelming majority of you guys agreed with what I said. Now, going forward from that, I am a very constructive person. When I see a problem, I am intrigued in finding the solutions. I enjoy troubleshooting basically. So here is my constructive feedback on how I would change and fix Order in Chaos 2. My name is Crayark, and let's talk about it. Number 1, which was the main part and point of my ranting video. Get rid of the luxury chests. And if that can't happen, here's an alternative. Put gear that isn't relevant to the current update in it. For example, Update 2 and 3 introduced the crystal gear. So, put the illusionist arena gear from Update 1 in the luxury chest. That way, those paying players will have the sufficient gear score needed to run, grind, and farm endgame components like everyone else within that update. I believe this is more than fair considering what we have now moving forward. Number 2. There is a disturbing lack of gold farming in this game. My suggestion, put gold as a drop from all mobs, or humanoids or whatever, in the game. It is an MMORPG, and gold farming is and should be a part of this genre's DNA. The thing that makes gold farming so satisfying is knowing the amount of time and effort you put in will reward you with something. Yes, working the auction house and managing dailies on 2 to 3 toons is kind of sufficient. But it is the self-fulfilling aspect of allowing players the option to farm gold their way that needs to exist. And on that note, number 3, there needs to be more drops in general, aside from gold to sell on the auction house. Right now, only a select few things sell, and that is mostly attributed to many things being bound to your character for no apparent reason. Some ideas I have are pets, whole pets, or scrolls for pets, crafted gear, and crafting scrolls being bind on equip instead, and sellable in the auction house. This will encourage a healthy in-game economy, which to some players is more important than having the best gears. This is a completely personal and maybe controversial opinion. Remove or change the card system. Now here's why. The whole card system is meant to add unique bonuses through our weapon cards, as well as boost stats with the terrain, resource, monster, and armor cards. But really, the only thing players care about is the weapon cards for their effects. Now, my problem with it links to the heritage weapons. As a mage, I am currently using the staff heritage weapon, and I have no incentive to level the magic pistols or the magic scepter when that comes out. The reason is because I rather have the magic pistol or scepter card effects, not the weapons themselves. Now, if the weapon card effects for, let's say, magic pistols were on the heritage weapon themselves, then I would consider switching heritage weapons. There needs to be some give or change to the card system if the idea is to push heritage weapons as our endgame weapons. And yet the actual weapon bonuses themselves are crap compared to the weapon card bonuses. Number 5. As touched upon in my rant video, the best cards and pets are pay to win. I understand pay to win aspects have to be present to entice players to buy and generate revenue. This is a business after all. It's fine and it's understandable. However, it would be nice to have the best cards and pets be farmable in some way, be it some incredibly low drop rate from certain mobs that spawn once a week, or from a dungeon loot table, maybe even card or pet fragments that can be gained from doing a daily quest that appears once a day, every few days, or once a week. Just something to motivate free-to-play, casual, and mid-core players who don't have the money to spend to get the best things that the casual players can. Again, this falls under the idea of giving all players options and abilities to get the best things that the casual players can get, but at a much slower rate. Completely locking things behind paywalls and it being the only way to get things only causes frustrations. Even if the drop rate or the pace it would take to get these cards or pets are abysmal and slow, it is the principle and hope that you can, not can't, get all these same things. Number 6. As suggested by my rant video, add in pure cosmetics and vanities with no stat values at all in the Nick store. People that want to decorate and dress their characters can feel free to spend as much as they want, as long as there is no stat advantage. I do not see any problems with this approach. Valve and Blizzard Entertainment makes a staggering amount of revenue from pure cosmetics in the form of mounts or hats. This type of in-app purchase can easily fit in this game. Number 7. Put in 2 tournaments at once. One for the pay-to-win players and the other for the free-to-play, casual, and mid-core players. An example would be a max pet in the pay-to-win tournament, and the other tournament has that same pet, but at a 1-star or base level. This should appease both sides of the spectrum. On that note, number 8. Allow those same new pets that appear in tournaments to go on Nick's shop at both max level stars and at a base 1-star level. This will enable and entice far more players to pay fewer runes for 1-star pets, rather than far fewer players paying huge sums of runes for max level pets. Number 9. There are a lot of inscriptions to use in certain situations, but none that we can really access off the fly without navigating through the menus. My suggestion is to add a mechanic where, if you hold onto a spell for more than 1.5 seconds, a menu of inscription icons show up for you to toggle between. Players have up to 24 unique inscriptions, but are allowed access to 8 at most. This would make for more interesting and exciting gameplay adaptations, particularly in PvP. And last, but definitely not least, number 10, arenas. Enough said. Okay, I'm going to spitball a few things, or a lot of things, that kind of all fall under one category, and that category being improve quality of life features. Please add in a proper mailing system. There is no good reason why players have to use the auction house and lose tons of gold from the in-game tax cuts other than to annoy your player base. Give a prompt of, "Are you sure?" before buying the superior or legendary chests from the lottery. I have clicked the legendary chest and lost 180 runes more than a handful of times because of fast swiping and interface lag from either my device or the game. We have already paid for the runes. You have our money. There's no reason why there shouldn't be a prompt to warn you in case you accidentally click it. Make bag spaces purchasable with a realistic amount of gold. There is no good reason to force a player to have to spend real life money just to upgrade a basic feature in an MMORPG. Now, I've read some concerns of people illegally buying gold, and this would affect the game. My suggestion to that is allow bag space to be purchasable with gold up to like 48 slots or whatever. And then beyond that, then you can make it purchasable with runes. Because let's face it, no one's going to be actually able to play this game with the basic 8 slots given. Like, that's nothing. That could fill up from one-fourth of a dungeon run. In tandem with the bank spaces, allow companion bank space to be bought with gold as well. Pets are not essential compared to basic bag slots, so making companion bank space cost huge amounts of gold seems fair to me. Just let us have the option besides needing to pay runes for it. There should be an option to turn off friendly fire in PvP within a guild. Sometimes I would like to host a PvP tournament within my guild. However, I can't organize 2 versus 2 or 4 versus 4 because guildies cannot attack each other in PvP zones, period. It would just be nice to have that option to turn it off. Increase the guild member capacity to 200 or 250 or 300. 100 is far too low. Raise the drop chance of items and gear for the previous dungeon when new dungeons are released. Add a race and name change. Give players the option to adjust button layouts and hide parts of their user interface. This is good for two reasons. It gives players the option to make the button layout their way for optimal playstyles. Additionally, the game looks pretty nice, like it looks beautiful. But it's hard to get a good screenshot with all the buttons cluttering the screen. Always show the team member health bars. Maybe add health bars on top of each friendly or party characters on screen. Obviously give the option to disable health bars since too many will lag the game. But just anything to replace the current iteration of party health bars. And that's it. Those are my suggestions on how to fix the game. Just like my rant video, do you agree? Do you disagree? And did I miss anything? I thought really long and hard about what I would want changed in this game, but it's possible I might have forgotten some things. Leave a comment down below because I do read them all, and I assure you, Gameloft is reading and watching it for feedback as well. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Twitter @Crayarc, and I'll catch you guys next time.